My name is Leilani Thatcher, a tour guide at the Library of Lost Things. This is The Doorstep Project, Episode 42, Solstice Celebrations. The winter solstice is recognized by cultures and religions across the world. It marks the turning of the seasons and is very symbolic to many people. We'll go over very briefly a few winter solstice celebrations and holidays that are less known or less talked about. Because some of these are very sacred or special to their cultures, we won't be diving too far deep into the traditions and practices out of respect for those who celebrate. If we misrepresent a holiday, tradition, or belief, please reach out to us. We would appreciate the correction. We're going to start out east in China, and we're going to try to pronounce everything correctly. The Chinese festival Dongzhi is celebrated the 20th or 21st day of December. It used to be a government holiday, which means that stores and schools were closed for about a week. These days, time off for the holiday is rarely granted, although some employers will let their staff off early to spend the day with family. Like most holidays during this month, Dongzhi is a celebration of the solstice, but is also a festival of light. It's the celebration of the end of the long nights in anticipation for the longer days, celebrating light, conquering darkness once again. This holiday is celebrated with food and family, and while it's not as widely celebrated as it once was, it is still a notable holiday in some communities. Much like Dongzhi, Yalda also celebrates light and triumph over darkness. Yalda is a Persian holiday originating over 7,000 years ago. Darius I instated the solstice tradition in 502 BC, and it's been celebrated throughout the Middle East since and has traveled with immigrants to their new homes. Yalda is celebrated with family, food, and poetry. Families traditionally eat pomegranate and watermelon, which can symbolize life, health, bounty, and a myriad of other important things. It's common for families to meet at the eldest family member's home and read poetry from Hafez, a culturally important poet to the area. They have a very interesting tradition in which family members ask a question pertaining to their life situation, then open to a random passage of poetry to look for answers. Lighting candles and staying awake until dawn are also common traditions. We're going to take a brief moment to travel down south and 6 months into the future. While we in the northern hemisphere enjoy the sunlight season of summer, everyone south of the equator is in midwinter, and no one knows this better than the researchers in Antarctica. This bleak winter has brought new traditions to the Arctic desert, celebrating with food, movies, and handmade gifts. Now we'll go right back up north in the Painted Desert of Arizona. A tribe of Pueblo Indians called the Hopi Native Americans have a very sacred solstice tradition called soil. This tradition is not isolated to Arizona, but the Painted Desert is where the Hopi originate, according to my research. The ceremony of soil is very sacred, and I decided not to do too much research on this out of respect for the Hopi traditions. But from what I understand, the celebration of soil is actually a preparation for the people who are waiting for spirit guides to return from the mountains and to bring the sun back with them. It's tradition to craft prayer sticks and use them to bless people, homes, and animals at this time. These prayer sticks are handmade and distributed about the community. Small replicas of what they believe these spirits to look like are also distributed around the community to help teach the children about the traditions and stories. There are so many ways to celebrate the solstice and so many reasons for doing so. From China to Persia, Israel to Arizona, Antarctica to England, December is a month full of holidays, celebration, and good food. We chose these holidays today to show how people from all walks of life, from all cultures, celebrate. The similarities and the differences, the sacred traditions and stories, and everything in between is so fascinating to study and understand. The winter solstice is believed by so many people to be a time of great power or change, and we can choose for ourselves what that will look like. Whether you celebrate any solstice traditions or not, you can look forward to the light of day returning more frequently after December 21st. I, for one, will be glad to see the light conquering the darkness once again. Thank you for listening to The Doorstep Project. This audio drama was created and produced by Family Friendly Podcasts. If you enjoyed the podcast, leave a rating and review on your podcast app of choice or share it with a friend. Leilani and the project will be back next week. Until then, write every day. One day, your story could be in a museum. The Doorstep Project is produced by Family Friendly Podcasts. It was written, edited, and performed by AJ Barton. Sound effects for this podcast are provided by Zapsplat. Music used in this podcast includes Enchanted Journey by Kevin McLeod, licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license. You can learn more at his website, incompetech.com, or at creativecommons.org. Both music and sound effects have been changed and edited by AJ Barton. Links for websites, information, and contact can be found in the description of the episode. Would you like to submit your story or art to the Doorstep Project? You can find information for story submission at familyfriendlypodcast.com/The Doorstep Project. Information on CC by 4.0 licenses can be found at creativecommons.org.